I mean, I guess some players these days, you see players terminating their contract, but he ain't walking away from
Oh, no, you don't do that. Don't do that, Darnell. Whatever you do, don't do that.
You got pride, but you know what? There's pride and then there's principle.
You got the rest of your life. Don't terminate that contract, Darnell.
Yeah. Don't puck it up.
No.
Take the
lashings from Spectre and move on with your $9 million.
Yeah. When you fly home, you fly private.
Clearing the crease. Oh. Clearing the crease. Hey.
Welcome back to another edition of the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozune. Well played for you tuning in to this rock star episode. We got Commie, we got Razor, Cybulski here hanging out with you. And just a reminder, everybody, if you're enjoying the show, content that we're bringing you between the podcast, the add-ons on social, make sure you're mashing that like and subscribe button. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, and make sure you're following along, whether you're on YouTube or Instagram, X, TikTok, or wherever else you're finding us, and whatever algorithm, because we are popping up everywhere. So, and don't forget, everybody else, a quick reminder, the World Cup is here. Yeah, and Canada. It's going to be way better than what happened 4 years ago. Canada's ready to make history. Ozune is working on a promotion unlike anything you've ever seen before. How about this, okay? If you believe in Team Canada, and if you believe that Canada can outlast Team USA in the World Cup, join the fun on Ozune.com. How about this, guys? You can get paid in a major way. Check out Ozune.com for all the details. But if you're planning on backing Canada to outlast the US, you can get paid in a major way, courtesy of our friends at Ozune. Well played. How do you like the sound of that there, Commie? I could hear you salivating right out of the get-go.
Wow. Yeah. I tell you, us Canadians are trying to get back at those Americans any way we can. I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it, but I think I'm going to give it a shot. Canada's supposed to be pretty good, right? Now, Davies is out, though, right?
Alfonso can get back at a decent time and can play the way he can.
My buddy said this is obviously not hockey, but we're talking about the World Cup. That's allowed. My buddy told me it would have been, and pardon if I get it right, was it the CONCACAF or whatever they call it, like a little while ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy who runs the Sporting Kansas City, he texted me, and I've heard about this, Davies, because he grew up in Edmonton, I think. And then maybe Vancouver, I think. Yeah, yes. But grew up in Edmonton.
He played for the Whitecaps. But he was in Edmonton prior to that. Yes.
That's right. Right. And he texted me. He said, and this guy knows hockey too. Like, he pays attention. He goes, I know you guys up north love Wayne Gretzky. He's like, I think this guy, I'm kind of paraphrasing here a little bit, but he's like, I think Davies has the potential to give Gretzky a shot at being like one of the best, like the best Canadian athlete ever. He was serious. And I said, really? He goes, he thinks he's that good. He wasn't taking a shot at Gretzky. He was this Davies guy's awesome. So anyways, hopefully he
get healthy.
Back.
Get healthy.
Yeah.
Americans could lose to Paraguay in the first game for sure.
He is he's unbelievable. And, Razor, I don't know about you, but every time I hear Commie talk about friends from Kansas City, all I can think of is
we're not going there. We're not allowed to go there. We're not going there.
Visit the archives section. Commie, do you know what we're talking about?
Not right now, but put it in the chat and I'll read it. I'm sure it'll,
Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Okay. Hey, let's dive in. We are 2 games in as we record this.
I got it. Yeah.
The hamster woke up.
Yeah, it was the same guy who played that great joke on me. Yeah. What a prick.
Highly recommended. If you haven't found our archives section, YouTube's got a bunch of them. Apple, Spotify. There's a lot of fun if you're just joining us here now. So highly recommended. Okay. Stanley Cup, here we are through 2 games. Game 1, dominance by Vegas. Game 2, we're talking instant classic. Commie, quick thought from you on this one. Is it everything it's cracked up to be so far?
I thought both games were great in a nutshell. The first game back and forth. The Canes come out flying. Vegas comes back, tied, then lose the lead, then tied again. Then Vegas scores on a great goal at the end. As far as game 2 is concerned, I think Caniacs should all be sending Rasmus Anderson a thank you letter, because with 9 minutes to go in that game, from watching it on TV, Carolina was basically dead in the water until Rasmus Anderson started playing like Darnell Nurse, and all he had to do was rim that puck. That's it. Or chip it.
Jesus.
And he tried to reverse it to himself, and Stankoven took it. Boom, there's a goal. Now we're rolling. He's out on the ice again. Now the other one was kind of a tough break, but he overcommitted. Guy made a nice play. Bang, -2. And then, I mean, Stone ties it up late. Anyways, I thought, like I said, I think Kaniak should be sending thank you cards to Rasmus, because I thought they were done in game 2. And now we got a series. So great game, though. But if I was Vegas, it's totally, in my opinion, completely changed the momentum of the series. I know Vegas is going home, and at the end, they're kind of in the driver's seat. But to me, it feels like Carolina kind of has the momentum with 9 minutes to go in that game. I mean, it was not looking good.
4 goals in the final 9.5 minutes there, Razor.
I'm really intrigued now. So intrigued. And more, again, we talked about it. We said this series was going to be interesting. It looked, though, for a long time, it looked for about, what do we got, 119 minutes or 109 minutes, I should say. 109 minutes. 109 minutes, it looked like it was not going to be interesting. Like, I was getting text messages of brooms over the game too. And now, to Commie's point, who benefits from game 2? Does Carolina really have the momentum? Or does Vegas say we just have a Rasmus Anderson problem and we were really much, much better and we bring it home? So that's why I'm very intrigued to see what we have in game 3. Is Carolina really going to take over now? Did they dodge the bullet? Or did Vegas just kind of have a hiccup?
Do you believe in momentum? But do you believe in momentum
with
with these two? But do you, like, as much as I want to subscribe to that theory, Razor, I don't know if these two teams, if momentum's really a thing with either of these. Vegas is veteran laden. They've been there, and you look at the way that they have kind of bounced back when they've dealt with adversity all postseason. And Carolina, same way. I mean, I don't even know if they've been really tested, for crying out loud, outside of the one game against Montreal.
Yeah, no, it's not momentum. It just comes down to, is Vegas really better? Because that's what it looked like basically for the 2 games.
Fair.
Or did Carolina get nervous playing at home? And did they find a way to get over the hump in game 2? That's what it comes down to for me. I'm really fascinated because it almost didn't become a series. It was almost the NHL and what we talked about, the worst nightmare. It was really close to being sayonara in 8 days.
Vegas is still in the driver's seat, in my opinion. I think a better way, I don't know if momentum's the right word, but I feel like after those first 2 games, Carolina's going to Vegas feeling better than they probably should.
Oh, yeah.
And Vegas, now they have a veteran team. I'm not saying, like I said, I still think they're in the driver's seat right now, but Vegas is probably going back home feeling a little worse than they should, because they got to feel like they let that one slip in game 2. I mean, they were dominating that game until 9 minutes left. I thought
you got a 2-goal lead. You got a 2-goal lead with 10 minutes to go in a
really
hockey game.
Giving them much.
Carolina.
Some chances, but not much. And then that goal went in, and things changed. And they battled back too. Like, I give, Vegas isn't going away, but yeah, like I said, thank you cards to Rasmus.
Well, is this? I mean, if it goes Carolina's way the rest of the way, do we look at that as sort of your TSN turning point? Where
I think so.
We talked about the '93 Cup final there with an illegal stick late in game number 2, and this game number 2 late in the 3rd period. All of a sudden,
Don't
things
be Marty
suddenly
McSorley.
flipped. Well, here we are. Rasmus Anderson might be the new pop culture vernacular here based on that. But let's see how it plays out.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I was sitting there on social media ready to post saying, hey, everybody, this is shaping up to maybe be arguably the worst postseason ever, just in terms of the lack of drama, right? We've only had 2 Game 7s really in these playoffs. You had Montreal and Tampa, and you had Montreal and Buffalo. But it's felt a little underwhelming in some respects. You get a sweep in the conference final. The other conference final goes 5 games, but now all of a sudden, Carolina suddenly comes to life. Let's see what game 3 brings. Vegas has got home ice, but it's starting to look like a banger. And as we talked about, it may not be the sexiest markets, but it's a sexy matchup for a hockey purist. So some other big stories going on right now, guys. How about this one? Commie, as a former Detroit Red Wing.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like every team
I'm
we
in
mentioned.
tune there. Yeah.
You're in tune. Okay.
Yeah.
Big news comes out this week as Dylan Larkin, captain of the Wings, has announced that he has requested a trade.
Oh.
He's got 5 years left at $8.7 million. 5 straight 30-plus goal seasons, coming off an Olympic gold medal with Team USA. This guy was Mr. Michigan, right? This is Detroit hockey, face of the franchise right now. First-round pick in 2014, hometown kid. Yet somehow, some way, Stevie Y just seems to love to create animosity with star players. We saw it with Marty St. Louis in Tampa, and now here we go, the inevitable breakup with Dylan Larkin. Thoughts on that one?
Well, for me, now I do have boys that are in the front office there, and I think the world of Steve Yzerman. I don't talk to Steve Yzerman. I do talk to those other guys, but I've never asked him about this, so this is me guessing. My guess is that there's probably, I'm actually kind of on Yzerman's, from what I've seen, just the outside looking in.
Ooh, you're going management here.
I'm going management here. My guess, well, I know from what I've heard when I was in Tampa, and I have heard that, Yzerman doesn't mess around. He's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to this stuff, he doesn't easily forgive and he doesn't easily forget. And when he wants something, he does it. I heard that a long time ago, and I'm sure nothing's changed. When it comes to Larkin, and I thought this at the end of 2025, when Larkin did that press conference and basically said, yeah, well, we were waiting for a spark at the deadline and we never got it. When Yzerman didn't trade for people at the deadline or whatever, basically ripping Steve to the media that, hey, you didn't do anything. That's why we didn't make the playoffs. And then Yzerman came back and said, well, I thought sparks were supposed to be created in the room, not by management. My feeling is that probably from right about that point forward, Steve Yzerman probably has not been too thrilled with Larkin. Like I said, this is just me guessing. I don't know. So my guess is Steve is going to happily accommodate or try his best to getting Larkin out the door to wherever well, I don't know how the trade, does he have no trades and all that stuff?
There is he's in control. He's the king of his own castle here.
Well, there's also, there are backroom threats you can make as well. Yeah. So we will see. But yeah, I wouldn't, it doesn't really surprise me if there is, in fact, which there seems to be some animosity there.
If we go back again, we're doing the archive night tonight. If we went back, I think the two of us commies said that what Larkin said at the end of that season, at the end of 25, was not going to sit well with everybody in charge there. And what he did was unacceptable for a captain to do. Now, my thought initially, right out of the gates, this is my thought. And I wish that I could talk to Dylan Larkin just a little bit and give him like a little perspective going forward. He's a Michigan guy, like you said, C-Ball, captain of an original 6 hockey team that is very storied. You do this, it's hard to go and back to that Detroit Red Wing alumni golf tournament in 10 or 15 years from now. This becomes, he's going to regret this at some point. He might not regret it hockey-wise, money-wise. He might not regret it in his career. He might go somewhere and win a cup somewhere else. But I can absolutely 100,000,000% promise you that when he's my age or Commie's age, he is going to regret the fact that he is going to be really uncomfortable at the Detroit Red Wing golf tournament, that he told Steve Yzerman and everybody else, Chris Draper, everybody else in that organization, that he doesn't want to be the captain of that group anymore. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's
a
really big deal to turn down the captaincy of an original 6 team and say you want to go somewhere else, especially when it's your state, you're the guy, and you have people in charge that are Hall of Famers. It's a thing. And I'm really surprised that no one got with them. They weren't able to put this all together because, again, I can't imagine. I can't imagine going to Matt Sundin and telling him I want to trade. I can't imagine going to Cam Neely and say I'm the captain, but I want to get traded. It's it's Dylan will regret it at some point, I think.
I like how you kept my
Good
age
points.
out of it. Thank you. But
good point.
The issues, even at the end of this season, too, Razor, further to that point, Todd McClellan, Steve Yzerman, they did their end of the season news conference, and they were asked, and it was like, you know what, like, our players need to be better. They went in at the deadline this year. They added help, and Detroit faded. You know, we talked about this playoff stretch. If you go back a few episodes earlier in the spring and watching Detroit just crumble in the numbers, and Todd McClellan, for a guy who doesn't typically call his teams out, was calling his team out, right? Time after time. And I think the real struggle with Detroit, Larkin's a fantastic player. Most teams would love to have a guy and a center like Dylan Larkin. But I think the reality here is Dylan Larkin on a championship team. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but he's probably a 2C as opposed to a 1C. Agreed?
Yeah, that's probably. I don't think I disagree with that. I mean, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong.
It's not saying he's a bad player, but I just don't think he's a franchise player.
Yeah, I don't think
right.
You're wrong
like
with
if he's your best player, you're probably not winning a cup. And for the last 10 years, you're not getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they have a little bit of that. I mean, it's how long has it been with Detroit? 7, 8 years?
A decade.
Now? It's been a decade? Oh, I guess it has. And it's been like 7 years under Yzerman, right? And a couple years before that. Yeah, it's almost kind of like the group of guys there a little bit, I mean, Detroit people probably won't like this comparison, but, it's kind of a little bit like we talked about with Columbus. Columbus went on a hell of a run, then faded right at the end. These guys have been there a long time, and it's like you're just kind of...
It's kind of comfy.
Yeah, you're just kind of used to losing, and it's okay to miss the playoff. Sure. If somebody asks you, you're like, yeah, I want to make the play, but it's like, yeah, okay, but you can. I want to win a Stanley Cup too. I mean, yeah, I would love to do that every year. Yeah, we all would, but I mean, there's certain things that go into that that are required, and so I almost feel like there's some parallels there. But you're right, Larkin is a good player. I'm not saying he isn't, but you're probably right on the 2C thing on a championship level team. And like I said, I don't know the guy at all. I have no idea. I mean, but maybe, I don't know, maybe being a leader, isn't maybe like his most shining quality. Maybe I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Look at Quinn Hughes thrive without the C in Minnesota.
Well, sure, yeah, it's not for everybody.
I guess the big picture is now it's like, okay, now it's great news for everybody that's doing this, like us talking about it, because where's he going? Who's he going for? What's the deal? Like,
we needed this, Razor.
We got some, because free agency was going to be a joke, right? It's like Alex Tuck and nobody else, like Rasmus Anderson, who he might have lost $1 million.
Shout out to Anders Lee while we're at it.
Anders Lee will do okay. Maybe Anders Lee fills right in with the captaincy of the Detroit Red Wings. That might be a leadership kind of play there. Anyways, lots of action now. But again, I just go back to publicly do this with Steve Yzerman and Chris Draper, and that front office is really something we don't see often. And I'm very interested. I would love to get Stevie on a lie detector test right now.
Should I put the request in to get him on the podcast?
yeah, exactly.
Hey, Steve,
let him
I
vent.
got his number unless he blocked me.
If you can pull that off.
Hey, Steve, why don't you come on and tell us what you think of Dylan Larkin right now?
Ozune owes you another $10,000 just for that.
Steve runs a tight ship.
Yeah,
he runs a tight ship.
Hey, so further to this, with all this going on, and there's another player who's making news about a potential breakup as well, but have you guys ever had a teammate that requested a trade?
Oh, yeah.
And what's that like?
Go ahead. I got to think.
No, I mean, I was on enough bad teams that guys did it for every week. Like, it was like deadline time. It's like, get me out of here.
Anywhere.
Trade me right
trade me now. I want to go. There's no point in me being here. So, I had a bit of it, but it didn't really, it was never a captain, that for sure. I never had there's players that can request trades or, are unhappy, that are moving, and it's okay. This is just different when it's the captain. of course, I was around when Joe got traded. Joe did not want to get traded as a captain of the original 6 Boston Bruins. That was not the
That
case.
wasn't his call. Yeah.
No. And so, again, I was around in a few places where guys wanted to get traded, but it wasn't controversial in any way whatsoever. It was just part of the business. So I don't have one like this, but yeah, we had a bunch of guys like asking for trades at different times.
I requested a trade once. Yep.
That was in Ottawa, wasn't it?
No. Ottawa just threw me out. Most teams just threw me out. No, in Columbus. In Columbus, my 3rd year there, when I was the highest paid defenseman in the organization, my boy Scott Arneal. Hopefully he gets canned this year coming up. My boy Scott Arneal came in there and I was out. Like, I was actually playing well, we've already gone over the story. I don't need to go all over all that. But it was like just after Christmas and I was sitting in Phoenix, out again, and teams losing. We stink. We're tapping goals from the front of the net and I'm not allowed to play. And I'm like, I was just sitting in the room by myself after bag skating myself. And I'm like, man, this, to myself, I didn't say it out loud. I'm like, this sucks. I'm like, I'm done here. So the beat writer was there, Aaron Portsline. So I just called him over and I'm like, hey, Aaron, what's going on? He's like, Commie, how you doing? I go, not great. He goes, yeah, I bet not. And I go, hey, you know what? He's like, are you like going to get in the lineup? I go, I don't know. I don't talk to this head coach. I'm like, feel free to leak it that I want to get traded. He's like, really? I go right ahead. So he did. And before I knew it, I was on my way to Springfield. But I regret it in that gave Scott Arneal didn't want me around because he was jealous of me and the fact that I was making some money and I was single. I regret doing it because, not just because of how it worked out, but I regret doing it because at the end of the day, that was the excuse that Arneal now had to go to the general manager, Scott Housen, and get me out of there. So as soon as that hit the papers or the internet, he went right to Housen and said, Commodore. Before that, I was sitting there. I was being a good soldier. I was being a good teammate. He wouldn't meet with me on other than the shouting match I had with him or whatever. But that was his excuse to go, we need Commodore out of here. He's a distraction. And then Housen came and he's like, look, I know this isn't working out. I think I've already gone over this, but he's like, do you want to go home? I'm like, nah, send me to Springfield. So went to Springfield and I hung out at the old Mardi Gras dance club there and had some nice steaks. No escrow. I took my raise and went to Springfield.
So was it a pretty calm reaction then? Sorry, Razor. Was it a calm reaction then with Housen and Arneal? Like, did Ish hit the fan at all, or what was that like?
Arneal.
So the story gets out. So it gets out in the papers. Portsline writes it, and then
Portsline writes it, and I want to say 3 days later, or maybe it was even less. I can't remember. It might have even been the next day. Housen texted me or called me or whatever to come up to his room. I went up to his room and said, "Yeah." He's like, "Look, I know this isn't working out." I said, "No, I know it's not working out." And he's like, "Look," he goes, "Arneal wants you out of here. He says you're a distraction to the team with this." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I bet he does." And he gave me the option. He's like, "Hey, look," he's like, "What do you want to do? Like, do you want to go home? You have the option to go home." He goes, "You just can't stay here. We can send you the minors. I know you don't want to play in the minors. We don't really want to send you there either." They didn't want to do that to me as a veteran guy. And I was sitting there and I'm like, well, it doesn't look good if I go home. Like, I might as well go. I'll go to Springfield and play a couple games. And so I did that. So no, it was calm. And then I told Housen right then and there, I'm like, hey, I go, well, this is it. I shook his hand and I'm like, hey, I go, you want to know who looks bad in all this? And he was kind of looking at me. I said, me. I go, I look terrible and I'm done here. But I go, you want to know who else looks bad right now? And he's like, who? I go, you. I go, you hired the wrong head coach. I told you this. This guy's power hungry. He's after you too. I'm like, you look bad. You signed me to this contract. I'm halfway through it and I'm gone. I go, you look bad and you could be next. And sure enough, he was next. Right after him, Arneal. Everybody was gone. Nash was gone. Broussard was gone. Everybody was gone. And there we were. And then I went and checked in with Babs, and then I went to Russia. And then I went to the golf course. It all happened very, very fast. That trade request really, things moved quickly.
No, and go back to Larkin about this. This is you end up being the one who looks bad because I was in Boston, similar. Joe got traded, Boyance everyone's gone. It's like, well, what am I doing here? It was that kind of a conversation on the way out. It's like, there's obviously you guys don't want me here. You don't want any of us here. And I was traded the next time. And it wasn't public where I look bad, but I look back where I could have just said nothing and maybe I stuck around and it wasn't on me, right? When you complain and when you bring things up and when you put it out, it always does end up on the player. So Commie's story is a perfect example of what I'm talking about with Dylan Larkin, because it ends on him. It's not going to fall on Stevie Y. Stevie Y is Stevie Y. It's going to end up on Dylan no matter what happens.
Yeah. Like hockey-wise,
just in Columbus, they call it the Commie effect, though, right?
Right, yeah. I would guess it's going to be a little different. Like, I think I'm with you, Razor. I think he's going to regret it at the end of the day. Now, like hockey-wise, he's a good enough player and he's young enough, and he'll
score 40 goals somewhere. Right, wherever he goes next, he'll be Mitch Marner, Eichel, or something. But
like it would have to take an incredible stroke of bad luck and injuries and stuff. Like, he's a good enough player and young enough where hockey-wise, I think that'll be okay. But I'm with you. I think at the end of the day, he's going to regret it down the road.
There we go. Great conversation, guys. Great perspective. And this is why we pay you guys the big bucks. A quick reminder, everybody, the Clearing the Crease podcast is powered by Ozoon.com. The road to the Stanley Cup wide open, and the clearest route to winning big is to play on Ozoon.com. Ozoon's got you covered for all the props, game lines, and futures from now right through the Stanley Cup final and beyond. So make your power play and score big with Ozoon. Well played. Okay. Let me throw this. Manny Malhotra, named head coach in Vancouver. Everything seems to be coming back to Columbus here, Commie. We had a great conversation a couple of weeks ago about culture.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson, former teammate, Razor, the new GM. Daniel and Henrik Sedin, the new presidents in Vancouver, former teammates for you. Commie, you played with Manny in Columbus, and you just mentioned you guys go back and ran into each other not too long ago.
Yeah.
Are the only thing that makes me nervous with these four guys taking over is they're all rookies. They're all rookies stepping into these positions. That being said, you guys talked about the value of culture. Is Manny Malhotra a culture guy, in your opinion, for you, Commie?
I will say yes. It's not like I didn't really play with anybody for an extended amount of time, but so it's not like I was with him for like 5, 6, 7 years, but I was around him for a couple of years, or I guess I'd have to look, but the Columbus ended up being such a zoo, hard to keep track, but I really like Manny. Good guy. I thought he handled things well, like his career-wise, right? Like, he was a very high pick and thrown into the Rangers right away and probably wasn't ready for it. If you're looking back, if you asked him that, I think that would probably be kind of fair. And he managed his way around, had a great career for himself.
Commie, he never scored more than 14 goals in a season and played almost 1,000 games.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's incredible.
That's called managing your career correctly. For sure. He
was a seventh overall pick.
He didn't ask for any trades.
I was just about to say.
He did not ask for any trades.
And he didn't request any trade. He just hung in there.
No, he just seemed to move around enough, though.
That's right.
Yeah,
Fourth
he just
line,
ate
second
every
line,
single
whatever.
one of his shit burgers everybody gave him.
That's right. He just took it.
Survivor. He's a survivor.
But I think he's got a lot of experience, and I think I guess I wasn't around him long enough to know if he'll bring a good culture. I would like to think so. Manny's a good dude. He's been successful in the American Hockey League. He's won there, which to me, that's important. That's not easy to do. And I know he's been grinding out in the American League, busting. Well, I guess they're flying out in the West Coast, but whatever. You guys, it's the minors. So good for him. I hear your concern, Seaball, or, with four guys and they're all kind of rookies. But to be honest, I think I kind of like it. I like what I've heard so far. And I think I kind of like it. And I think with the now you'll know better than me, you two, I've never played in Vancouver, but I think the fact that they're all rookies will maybe give them some grace with the fans, maybe, or, a little extension, a little more leeway, maybe, at least for a while. So I kind of like it, to be honest, from the outside looking in.
I do too. I think it's because they're all on the same page. They're all the same. They're all they all play together. They're all the same age, essentially. RJ is a year or two older, but they're all in it together. They're not going to deviate, one guy going here, the other guy, which has been the case in Vancouver for a little while. At different times, you've had different people doing different things. These guys are going to stick together. They're on the same page. They've worked together for a couple of years now, with Manny being in Abbotsford. RJ was there. The Twins, of course, were doing a lot of work with those guys. So I'm sure they have a very similar outlook on how to build a team. Now, of course, it's different to do it under the gun and under the spotlight and under fire, but I think they have a running chance because they're on the same page. And I think if you're a Canucks fan, that's it, to piecemeal something together would be much worse than what they have now. They have 4 really good people that are really good hockey people that have all done it differently, that should have good perspective and find a way to build the team properly.
Yeah, great character. Guys are clearly willing to do the work. And you look at what Manny's journey has been as a coach now onto this road, what Ryan Johnson has certainly done, Daniel and Henrik. I mean, I am a huge fan of both those guys. So let's see how it goes. I think there's optimism in Vancouver with the hire. We'll see how it plays out. Let's see if we can try to get everything in here in the next 10 minutes. We're on the clock here.
Okay.
Okay, I want to hit this one. Commie, this has been one of your hot button topics over the last few years since we pretty much launched this show, but a report comes up from Sportsnet's Mark Spector suggesting that Darnell's time in Edmonton is coming up. Nursey, no more. Your thoughts? I guess this report even suggested that they were thinking about scratching Darnell during the Stanley Cup final, going back a year ago or 2 seasons ago, that it was going that off the rails where he was only averaging about 15 minutes of playing time. I guess as a player, like, what sort of reaction do you get when you read an article suggesting that the team is kind of done with you?
Well, first off, they should have scratched him in those 2024 playoffs. He was terrible. And the only reason why he played, like it said, they thought it would be a distraction. I mean, he was. Now, before I start, I'm not here to just roast Darnell. I think Darnell lately has played better than he was in 2024. He's stopped sliding around the ice. He's kept things a little more simple. I think he's been better. Now, in saying that, look, he ain't living up to the 9.25. Maybe that's not even fair to hold him to that. It probably isn't, to be honest. He's not Cale Makar. He's never going to be Cale Makar. So I will say he has been better, but look, like
some say he's not Cale Hulse.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, Cale Hulse could rim the puck and he would shoot it off the glass instead of some of those turnovers I've seen Darnell. And so,
well played.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm Darnell, I mean, I don't know. He has taken a lot of grief there, and I think a lot of it is deserved. Like I said, I do think he has been better, but I think it's too little too late. The Oilers are on the clock. He's eaten up. I know he's Connor's buddy, but look, he's eaten up a ton of cap space. Yeah. And what are you getting out of it? Like he's not, I think at the best of times, this is just me. I think at the best of times in today's game, he is a number 5 defenseman tops, and he should at most be making half of what he's making. And I think that's being nice. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not great for him to read that. I mean, I'm not sure. Now, once again, we got a full no move clause. Like, if I were him, I've never had a full no, like, I've never had any kind of thing like that. But I would think if it were me reading it, like, I think part of him's got to be like, you know what? I want to get the hell out of here too. Yeah. Like, it's time. I've spent my time here. I'm sick of getting ripped on, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's got to have some personal pride as well. So I think Absolutely. I would be willing to waive it and go anywhere. Now, my question is who the hell's taking him?
That's the big.
In this, go ahead, Razor.
I'm just piggybacking you. Like, where's that 9.2? How much does Edmonton have to eat of that? Like,
probably
it's a great story, right? Like, it gets Spector to be seen and talked about like we're doing. But of course, I'm sure they would have loved to have gotten rid of him the last 4 years. He's making 9.2, but who's taking him?
Yeah,
that's it's interesting, these stories coming up again. Larkin, same thing. Like, who's taking Larkin? What are you giving up for Larkin? Like, these are fun June stories, but I want to see it come draft day. Who's bucking up to get Darnell Nurse at 9.2?
Got to be out of your mind. In this article
But
that I read,
Darnell
there
at
was
4.6. But what about Darnell at 4.6 if Edmonton's taken half?
Well, that's fine, but then the Edmonton's taking 4.6. They probably have to take a bad player on the side of it or give up a first-round pick to get rid of Darnell at 4 point. Like, it's just a lot. I just don't. I'm curious. I get it can happen. I'm just I want to see how it plays out because eating 4.6 isn't that easy for Edmonton right now.
Yeah, he's still got term.
He still has a lot of term left.
Yes,
This article said San Jose, or like destinations for Detroit, would be good destinations for Darnell. This article said San Jose would be out of their minds.
Nah.
Out of their mind. You want to stop the good things they got going on there? Bring Darnell in. That'll kill it.
100%.
Detroit. Are you kidding me? And then the other one was Toronto. I'm like, well, maybe. I mean,
they'll do it.
What the hell? Fire him out to Toronto. Let's see how that turns out. But like the one quote in Spectre, and I'm not a Mark Spector. I'm not a Mark Spector fan at all. He used to be at the Fort Record when I was growing up as a kid. He should have stayed there. But
you've never partied with Spec like I
don't want anything to do with Mark Spector.
Chance.
But I love you, Spec. I love you, Spec.
Seaball loves you, Spec. I don't. This was the quote about Darnell, and this is pretty much exactly what I was told 2 years ago during those playoffs when I messaged somebody that man, what is he doing out there? He always gave you the feeling that he saw himself more as an offensive defenseman and would make some terrible reads with and without the puck at critical times in games. Hockey sense was always a concern for me. It ain't a good thing if you got a D-man making 9.25 and hockey sense is a big concern. So, anyways, I think Darnell should waive it and go wherever he can. But I don't know what you do. I don't know how you get rid of him.
I mean, I guess some players these days, you see players terminating their contract, but he ain't walking away from that.
Oh, no, you don't do that. Don't do that, Darnell. Whatever you do, don't do that.
You got pride, but you know what? There's pride and then there's principle.
You got the rest of your life. Don't terminate that contract, Darnell.
Yeah. Don't puck it up.
No.
Don't puck it up. Don't
take the lashings from Spectre and move on with your $9 million.
Laugh. When you fly home, you fly private. I mean, he's in a position where he makes so much money for so long that you basically have to play him. Like you can't buy him out. You have to play him and just hope for the best. Yeah. So, anyways, I don't want to torch Darnell. Like I said, at the end of the day, I think he's been better than he was 2 years ago. So
I know you don't want to torch Darnell, but too late for that.
Oh, sorry, Darnell. I mean, hey, Darnell, focus on, you cash those checks and just stay on your feet and you're worth $4 in my opinion.
That's it, man. Like, what are you going to say? No to a contract like that? I mean, at the end of the day,
No, not at all. I don't fault him at all. No, of course not. Good for him.
Exactly.
Proud of him, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of jealous, to be honest.
Very jealous.
Yes.
Very jealous.
Good job, Darnell. How'd you do
See,
that?
Darnell, you still have an admiration society here 100%. On the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozone. Well, just keep that clip and don't listen to anything else we've ever talked about.
That's right.
When it comes to
That's
viewing.
right.
Okay, time for our fan question. This is where you submit a question to us on social, on YouTube, wherever it may be, but make sure you're using that hashtag AskCTC. Razor, this is one for you this week. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is coming from Justin checking out the CTC in Badger, Newfoundland. All right, shout out to The Rock. Razor, what are the top 5 hardest shots you've ever faced? Who shot the puck and did you make those saves?
Perfect.
Good question.
Top 4 is very easy for me. So I have in no real order, Sheldon Surrey. Hit me in a collarbone one night to hurt like hell. Stu will pull up a video of Sheldon scoring on me in Montreal against Toronto off a faceoff. It's like the parting of the Red Seas. It's like the funniest goal ever. Rob Blake could absolutely heavy hammer it. Zdeno Chara, of course, I played against him all the time when he was in Ottawa. They would post him up on the 5-on-3, and it was a fiasco. And then Shea Weber, he was bringing it at the end of my career as a young guy, and he brought it. Commie was playing the Hall of Fame game. He came down and took a clapper in the shootout.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
She almost I'm like 42 years old. He almost killed me. I'm like, shit, dude.
I didn't
you're in the
agree
Hall
with
of
that
Fame,
at
dude.
all. Yeah.
And Commie came over after. He's like, dude, that was bullshit. I'm like,
Completely uncalled for.
completely uncalled for. So those were the four guys. That's an easy four. And so I've kind of thought about it. Like my other one, kind of sneaky that you wouldn't think about, was Matt Sundin. Like Matt's brought it in practice every once in a while, like when he was in a bad mood or the team, and he was so accurate with it, but he was big and strong and he could shoot it really hard. So that was kind of my dark horse on 5. The top 4 would probably be any goalie's picks that played in my era. Who you got, Commie? You have anyone that you're like, wow, that guy brings it, that I'm forgetting?
I mean, well, Surrey's one. I mean, I don't disagree with anybody you said. Surrey was one, like whenever he would wind up on the, and
he was always high, huh?
Always
Hammer
high.
brought it high all the time.
You ever see his curve? Like,
it was ridiculous.
No disrespect, Sheldon. He was a good player. He had a hard time kind of passing the puck because of the curve on his hockey stick.
Yeah,
I mean, that thing was meant for rifling the puck. There's no question. Nobody else really stands out to me too bad. I would say like two of the, like, whenever I think of shots, two of the best, like, I don't mean hardest, but like quick releases is what I kind of think of that I remember. And it was, thank God it was only briefly because he retired. But Joe Sakic, I remember once in Colorado, I was out there and I couldn't believe how quick he got. I thought I was in a good spot. It was in the net. I'm like, man, that was quick. And Danny Heatley.
Heater.
Heater could shoot the puck. He could get rid of it quick. As far as velocity, he could shoot it. There's no question. But those were two guys. Whenever I think of shots, like those guys got it and got rid of it quick.
And I just thought of Brett Hall. Like I played against Brett Hall, but he wasn't bringing the heat. Like, but he could score. Like, it was the same idea, like he was a great scorer.
Razor, I remember talking to Dan Cloutier once after a game in Vancouver. Al McInnes had teed up with like a clean look from the point and hammered one. And Cloutier made the save with his shoulder. And I remember after the game asking him, I said, man, how about they stop a clear, like point blank Al McInnes shot? And this was probably in the second period. And I remember Cloutier saying, he goes, my arm is like, my shoulder is still numb.
Oh,
like, it hurt. He was like, man,
I never got Al. I was lucky.
Avoiding that one. So, Commie, a quick one for you. Braden McNabb took one in the face the other night in game 2, which was just awful. And you just, did anything like that ever happen to you? 600 games in the NHL. Like, I mean, did you ever? And your job was to be that crease lizard to kind of protect it anyway. Yeah,
well, I took one right in the face, right over my eye, my 9th game pro, but it wasn't in the NHL. I was playing for the Albany River Rats against the jungle in Wilkes-Barre.
Just got zipped all over the place. Just a fiasco.
Yeah, that was scary.
On the bus ride home.
Yeah, no visor.
Who hit you? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. It was a face-off in our end, Albany. Puck got one back to Andrew Ferentz, was playing for Wilkes-Barre. And there was a forward in front. Yeah, forward in front of the net. Andrew wound up to shoot it. I cross-checked the forward out of the way, and I was the goalie could see. I think it was Arya Honan was in.
Yes, it was. First-round pick, Arya Honan.
First-round pick, 1999. You're right, Razor.
Yep.
And I cross-checked my guy out of the way, and I was looking back. Andrew shot the puck, and it was going to be probably 2 feet off the ice behind me. Nobody was in the way. Would have been an easy save. Well, right about, so let's say I'm at the top, a little about top of the crease. Well, his name was Mike Jefferson at the time, and then he changed his name to Mike Dan.
Got you.
Yes.
He went out there to get in the shot lane, and the puck hit the shaft of his stick. I saw it coming the whole way. I had no time to move, and it just off the shaft, straight up, and right in my bean. That was no fun. That was detached retina. That was a ride. I didn't even get on the bus. It was bad. I thought things were over before they even got started. Yeah. So I didn't even go back on the bus. We had Willie Mitchell down for that game. I actually jumped in the car, Willie's car, the next day or maybe it was that night. It might have been that night. Willie got called back up. So I drove back with Willie to New Jersey, got checked out, and I was in surgery about 30 minutes after I got checked out. It was not much fun.
Christ. You're lucky. You're lucky you ended up to New Jersey. You could have stayed in Albany for the night and got screwed.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Right?
That's true. Big time.
What kind of screw do you mean there, Razor?
I mean, no eyes.
Yeah.
Well, I won't even. There's a couple guys I could say, but I'm not going to.
That is wild. Anyway, that's wow. Thanks for sharing that. But yeah, it's certainly I wish our best to Braden McNabb.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not out. That's big for Vegas too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
As we
even my
found
dog's
out,
concerned right now. He's losing his mind over.
I don't think Vegas wants to roll 4D. Vegas doesn't want to roll 4D. We saw that last night.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyways.
Okay, time for Don't Puck It Up. Let me kick it off here, guys. NHL executives. Look, you all make good salaries. Invest in a quality watch. And look, I'm not suggesting a Rolex, but if you can afford it, go for it. But don't act like a high school student trying to submit an assignment at the 11th hour, okay? When you have a stud like Matthew Nyes, 2 first-rounders, and a top prospect all dangling at the wind at the trade deadline, you know what? Maybe you don't want to submit that trade a minute too late, as was reported earlier this week, okay? This isn't bidding for a card on eBay here, everybody. Hire a director of timing operations if you need to. Executives at the trade deadline. Don't puck it up.
Yeah, is that story true? I just read that right before we came on. Who knows? Okay. Yeah. Whoops.
Well, yeah. Maybe that's why he got fired.
Yeah.
Somebody needs their ass kicked for that.
Yeah. Mine will be quick. I'll just go with what I touched on a little bit earlier. Don't puck up the gift from Rasmus Anderson, Carolina. Don't puck it up. Go into Vegas and win one game. Come home, have it be 2-2. Don't puck up that gift. Don't go there and lay an egg in game 3 and go back to Carolina 3-1. Get a split in Vegas and get the home ice back.
I feel like we have to bring it up again. Don't puck it up, Mitch Marner. You're this close to winning the Conn Smythe and bringing that baby back to Young Street.
It's the greatest
Find
summer
a way,
ever.
Las Vegas. Don't puck it up. Game 2, let that get back to you. The exact opposite of what Commie's saying. Mitchie, come through, big boy.
Mitch Marner must have been livid when he was going up the boards there, and all Rasmus had to do was rim it, and that thing turned.
Let me backhand that thing out of the zone. Mitch was thinking.
It's just one little step closer to the greatest summer of my life, and Rasmus tried to reverse it to himself, and the 5'2" Stankovic shoved him off the puck.
Oh boy.
He pucked it up. We need to get some Clearing the Crease pucked it up t-shirts.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Let's
get on that.
Merch.
Producer Stu Stone, add it to the list.
Yeah, we got to do the don't puck it up. We should mix in a few more you pucked it up. Like, little variants, you know what I mean?
Yep. We got a whole summer. Yeah. We got a whole summer for it.
T-shirts everywhere.
That's right.
A quick reminder, everybody, the World Cup is here, and Team Canada is ready for history. Soon working on a promotion unlike anything you've ever seen before. If you believe in Team Canada, and if you think that Canada can leapfrog over the U.S. at the World Cup, well, hey, check out Ozune.com, and you can get paid in a major way. Visit Ozune.com for all the details if you're planning on backing Team Canada, because the Clearing the Crease podcast is powered by Ozune.com, and the road to the Stanley Cup, it's open, at least for now, and the clearest route to winning big is to play on Ozune.com. Ozune's got you covered for all the props, game lines, futures from now until the Cup final and beyond. Make your power play, score big with Ozune. Well played. He's Commie. He's Razor. I'm Cybulski. We'll be back later this week, right here for another episode of the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozune. Gentlemen,
well played.
Even for you, Darnell.